What's cracking, everybody? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. Today's video, we got some spice here in the Great League submitted by Simon the Leader, featuring Sucker Punch Kecleon. Now, double normal with Goodra. I think Goodra also makes a lot of sense in this current Great League meta. There's a lot of trainers that are running things like Clodsire, Toxapex, Feraligatr, Talonflame, Diggersby, a lot of things that Goodra has a lot of great amount of play into with the Thunder Punch and Aqua Tail. So I really like that pick in the Great League in general. So if you wanted to make a team around that, I was trying some things. Goodra just really good in this current meta. But we're going to have some fun today with Kecleon. If you want to submit some battles, trainers to the channel for Shoutcasting, you can do so in the pinned comment and description. There's a Google form you can fill out and send in the battles. Let's get into these games. Once again, thank you, Simon the Leader, for sending in these games for us to enjoy. Getting into this first game here, we are going to have on the lead. Here it comes, Machamp! Oh man, this is a pretty good lead though for the Goodra, just because of the fact that you don't have your normal types against it. That's it. Also, the absolute squishiness of the Machamp allows you to, even though you're going to probably have to go down 2 shields to be able to take this matchup, you are going to be able to get a shield back and also fully farm this thing down if you so choose. Hopefully whatever's in the back is not apt to handle these normal type Pokemon. Honestly, you could even let one go if the opponent doesn't bother going up to the Stone Edge here. But they do, and Simon makes the correct shield call, farms down the Machamp. Has a pretty healthy Goodra still. The opponent going to come in with that Dugong. The Dugong, not super comfy here into this Dugong because of those super effective Ice Shards, but maybe able to get to another Thunder Punch. Now the opponent decides to throw energy, which is really, really good here because now we can put the Dunsparce against the Dugong, and that's going to do really well here. But the Diggersby that's coming in, oh, this might be a problem here. Now we have Ice Beam on the Kecleon, and Kecleon also has access to this Thunder move that we're not going to be using. This Thunder move, right? We're not using Thunder against Diggersby, but unfortunately, we get the attack drop. It always happens that way, doesn't it? Attack drops whenever they matter. So the opponent now should be able to go for another Scorching Sands, and unfortunately, the Kecleon is no more. Not a very good spot for it in this particular game. Not going to be able to get to another move. But these Sucker Punches hardly do anything to the Diggersby, man. It's just how bulky it is. But Kecleon will come back for another game at some point after this game's over because we need to see some Sucker Punch Kecleon action. That was unfortunately just not a good spot for it. Scorching Sands, another attack drop? Are you gonna be kidding me? Oh, come on. How unlucky can one person be? I should know. That's me. I'm that unlucky. Because of the attack drop, not able to knock out the Dugong, and now Dugong's going to be able to get this Icy Wind off. And at this point, it's pretty much just going to be over here for this trainer because unfortunately, that Drill Run will not be nearly enough to knock out. You probably need 2 or more at this point to get with 2 attack drops into the. Yeah, you need like 2.5 Drill Runs. Unfortunately, had we not gotten the attack drops, maybe there was a chance because you would have only had 1 attack drop. The opponent wouldn't have got the Icy Wind off. They would have had to go for the Scorching Sands. Sucks. I hate when that happens. Good game. Next game up, we got Goodra on the lead versus a Gastrodon. Not a bad lead, but certainly a better one than if you were to have, for example, the Dunsparce against it. Now, Dunsparce doesn't do particularly well into something like Gastrodon because it has that rollout fast move damage being resisted by those by the ground typing of the Gastrodon. So we're keeping the Goodra here in on the lead. Now, unfortunately, we're not running Power Whip, which is what would be really, really nice to have here, but the opponent now comes in with a Toxapex. That's what I'm talking about, though. The opponent has Toxapex. This puts us in a very good position here because we have the Dunsparce and the Kecleon. We can put the Kecleon in here, honestly, and, man, it's all these bulky Pokemon that the Sucker Punch damage just isn't showing up for. Like, if Sucker Punch isn't same type attack bonus, it just feels very underwhelming, honestly. But we are going to be able to get this Thunder off. Is this going to do enough damage to knock out the Toxapex? Boy, I hope so. Don't shield us. Boom! I have to give it to him because at least we got the move. The opponent does end up throwing energy here, trying to prevent the Kecleon from getting to another move. Body Slam is going to be enough to knock out. Goodra can come in here and try to finish off this Gastrodon to keep it away from the Dunsparce. I don't know if you shield here. Probably would have wanted to throw a little bit sooner, but the opponent gonna get this Body Slam in, and in comes Dunsparce to try to get a farm down here, which it can definitely get. And the opponent has an Alolan Ninetales in the back with Powder Snow, so this is looking really, really good for this Dunsparce here. The opponent does, however, have a move banked on their Gastrodon, so if the opponent decides to go for something like a Dazzling Gleam, it's going to be really, really bad for the Dunsparce. You know, the opponent throwing right away. I don't even think they built up to a Gleam, so we're okay here. They're just going to go for the Weather Ball. But The thing is that Gastrodon essentially needs to, oh boy. Okay, so we shield up here. Do we call the combo play, which is surely coming at some point here? No, fully farming down. The opponent has one move off. Okay, I thought the Gastrodon had a move. They were one away, able to get the drill run off here, and I believe the Dunsparce has two moves, and it does. The opponent not having a move. Great here in this situation. Very close game. A little bit of a clincher, but we're good. Good game. Well played. There it is. Getting into this next game, we're going to have Dragon Breath. Why did I say Gyarados, man? What is my brain doing today? It's about as good as these frame drops. Anyway, Goodra, not Gyarados. Where did Gyarados come from? Goodra is going to swap out away from this Ferrothorn. Unfortunately, Ferrothorn is quite a bit of a core breaker here, and the opponent has his Samurott in the back. That is some spicy pick, and you love to see it. I actually think that Samurott could do very well in this current meta with its coverage, those spammy Hydro Cannons with the Fury Cutter damage. Also, having Mega Horn is pretty good, too. Lots of, like, dark poisons, right? So, like, it sort of works out that way. But going for this drill run, trying to free up the Goodra against this Ferrothorn, but unfortunately, the Ferrothorn just looking really saucy in the back right now. Goodra is completely walled by it, but unless the opponent has unless the opponent has Flash Cannon on that Ferrothorn, it's really not going to be putting too much pressure on the Goodra either. So, honestly, I think that it might have actually been better to stay in against the Ferrothorn, at least for a little bit. Until they throw some energy, just get some chip damage in or something instead of instant swapping. But either way, I think that you could do something with this. But now the opponent's going to have switch advantage. So if they have a better answer in the back to this Kecleon, they can bring it in here. And they have the Feraligatr. Now, unfortunately, Feraligator's going to get this Hydro Cannon. Very nice catch here, going for this catch. But I'm gonna say, honestly, I almost would have rather seen them land a Thunder. Because now the opponent's Feraligatr can swap out and bank the energy, and I'm pretty sure that Kecleon, it's not the most, it's really not the most tanky thing. It's probably not going to be able to survive a Hydro. Well, actually, from 9 HP, it probably should be able to. But I guess it's going to come down to how much energy the opponent's Ferrothorn has and what happens with this matchup here. Because they do have the Ice Beam pretty much ready to go here. But the unfortunate thing is that Kecleon would have to Sucker Punch down, and I don't know if it wins Charge Attack priority over Feraligatr. It probably doesn't. Now, I think, I don't know, man. It's hard to say, right? Because you have to go Thunder. It's so hard to know because I don't know the Kecleon stats, right? Someone can let me know in the comments. I'm sure somebody knows. But well played, good game, good attempt. Let's see what happens next. All right, Dugong in the lead. This sucks. This really sucks. All right, we're staying in here for a little bit, at least, trying to get to this Thunder Punch. Going for the Aqua Tail bait here. I'm not sure how I feel about this bait. I probably would have rather just seen him go for the Thunder Punch. And they don't shield. The Thunder Punch would have been much nicer to have here, but the opponent's loaded on energy. They can go for multiple Icy Winds here if they want to, which is why it's really, like, if you're going to swap out of a Dugong matchup, you just, I don't know, man. This is just, it's a really tough call because you're not necessarily comfortable with Kecleon coming in because it doesn't really pace that well into the Dugong, but at the same time, right, like, you don't want Goodra to be taking all the super effective damage. So I can see why they want to stay in and do some chip damage to it. But unfortunately, that isn't going to do a whole lot for it here, as Dunsparce is getting debuffed and hit with a Malamar, and this is just not a good time. So opponent's Malamar is going to get this farm down, and Kecleon is going to come in. The opponent going for the... Huh? Did they not have a superpower ready to go? I would have thought they had a superpower. Wait. I don't think they're ready, chat. I said chat like this is extreme. Do it. Go and get him with the Ice Beam, bro! Yes! I don't even care. I don't even care what happens for the rest of this game. Kecleon is sucker punching down the jump bluff. The opponent is now in shambles. This Dugong is not going to be able to knock out. Do they know this thing has Thunder? At some point, we have to shield something. No, we're just going to bank the Thunder and come in with the Goodra here and maybe look to go for Aqua. I mean, now you can go for Aqua Tail because the opponent's Dugong is so low. But imagine if we gone for that Thunder Punch before, we actually wouldn't have a Dugong in front of us at all right now. Come on, I want to see the Thunder, dude. Come on. Oh, it's fine. This is the safe way to do it. You just get the Sucker Punch through, shield up, and win the game. That's fine. I just wanted to see a Thunder land, okay? All right, good game. Getting into the next game, Goodra on the lead here versus a Registeel. Hello, what season is it now? Dunsparce is going to come in, and the opponent is going to have to make a catch on this drill run, or they're going to have to take super effective damage. I have a feeling they're probably just going to stay and try and go for a Zap Cannon debuff, because that's what Registeels do. But Zap Cannon is a 30% chance now, and I think that if they're staying in, this is probably really good, because it's preventing it from being stuck up against literally anything else. Now, I don't know if I saw a catch there or what, but I saw a rollout from Registeel. Now the opponent is staying in. Yep, that's good old fast moves not working the way they're supposed to. Now, Dunsparce is going to double shield here, but getting rid of this Registeel is probably the best thing considering what's on this team. Opponent is immediately going to swap into a Feraligatr and get met with a drill run. Now, Dunsparce has hardly taken any damage. It will easily be able to get this shield back with the next drill run, or the opponent's not going to have a Feraligatr. Now, the opponent throwing right away when they get to that move gives the Dunsparce a whole rollout for free, making this pretty comfortable. But now we see Just-in-Kind not going for the extra rollout, which would have probably been better here, but the opponent not shielding, and they're going to come in with a Drifblim, and they don't know what's in the back. They don't know. There is a Sucker Punch Kecleon waiting to feast upon this poor Drifblim. Goodra's going to come in here to pressure this Drifblim to throw that energy, and I know Simon's already thinking it. He's like, man, I am just salivating at the thought of Kecleon Sucker Punching this down. The opponent is going to stay in here. The Registeel's low. All they could really use it for at this point is a catch. They're going to go ahead and shield up the Drifblim, and now we have shield even. Shield parity. The shields are even. Two sentences at one time decided to come out. I don't know how that works, but Kecleon here is going to be poised to Sucker Punch down the rest of the team. Even with a Icy Wind debuff, it's all right, because Kecleon is going to be just having a great time right now. It just Sucker Punches down everything. We could even Ice Beam the Drifblim if we so choose, but Kecleon taking the win here, Sucker Punching down, as we wait for the opponent, who is disconnected out of absolute salt. They're like, how did I just lose to this Kecleon? Trainer, huh? Good game. Also, grow up in top left and stop closing the app. The only thing you're doing is just making yourself look like a fool, man. All right, Gastrodon in the lead once again here, staying in with the Goodra, hoping to maybe get a shield or do some nice damage. The opponent able to get to a move, though, so we're going to have to shield up a potential Earth Power. Opponent going for that Earth Power, full sending it. We always respect the full send here. Aqua Tail's coming out. The opponent doesn't know that we don't have the Power Whip, and they let it go. They just call it. I mean, every time, you know? You just call it, because no one ever really runs Power Whip anymore, unfortunately. Even though, honestly, I think Power Whip in this current meta would probably be a lot better, because Skarmory is really the main reason why we ran Thunder Punch. And I very specifically remember a good number of matchups for Goodra that are in this current meta where Power Whip was actually the preferred move. Now, obviously, there's things like Toxapex that are a little bit more uncomfortable with Power Whip, but genuinely, I think that Power Whip might be a go-to move here. So, you know, if anybody's looking to play Goodra in this current meta, I definitely think Power Whip is a solid shot here. So Dunsparce getting moves off quicker than the speed of sound with all that rollout energy. The opponent going to be able to get to a move, but it's providing a farm opportunity for the Goodra. The opponent has a very low Gastrodon at this point, and in comes a hello Zapdos, you king. The opponent's running Shadow Zapdos. I'm all for it. I don't even know, man. I don't even know what's going to happen in this game. However, all the fast moves are going to come through. I don't think the Drill Peck is going to be enough. Opponent should have probably built up to that Thunderbolt and gone for it here, because Drill Peck is not going to do enough. Why is the game lagging? Don't tell me. I'm not going to assume that anybody's doing anything shady, but, you know, in this day and age, who knows? I just hope that it was some lag. I'm going to assume, because it doesn't seem like that trainer would be doing that kind of thing. So good game. No, I'm not going to call anybody out on anything unless it looks absolutely, like, inexplicably looks like it otherwise. That was probably just some good old Niantic lag here. Now, making a nice catch and getting the rollout through here on the Dunsparce. Dunsparce catching this draw run and getting that rollout through puts it already on par with the opponent's Dunsparce, and they get the rollout back. So now we're going to take two rollouts, but the Simon's Dunsparce is primed and prepped with a ton of energy to handle whatever may come in here. Going for this draw run. Could go for back-to-back draw runs to match the opponent's Dunsparce. We'll see what he decides to do here. Going for the double draw run, potentially trying to win charge attack priority, but unfortunately the Dunsparce loses and is forced to shield here. I know that feeling, dude. It's like my Dunsparce has a slight attack stat, but it seems like everybody else's just beats mine. I'm like, come on, man. So, and the opponent gets their Dunsparce with shield advantage. The Dunsparce goes down. In comes a Clodsire. Clodsire is not going to appreciate having to take 2 drill runs, though, before being able to Poison Sting down. And if I'm not mistaken, that Goodra did have some energy with which it could come in and hit this Clodsire. And again, this is what I'm talking about. Like, there's a lot of things that are just susceptible to Goodra in this meta. So, Mega what? Mega Horn? That is a legacy Mega Horn Clodsire. Again, something else that I did not have down on my bingo card for this week. I got a little sheet of things that I was expecting, and that is nowhere to be seen. Opponent coming in with a Jump Pluff here. This could go good, this could go bad. I guess it's kind of depend. Going for Thunder Punch here. Now, this is definitely a matchup where the Power Whip would not be helping anybody because it's, you know, you have all resisted damage again. Look at all these frame drops, dude. Come on. You know, I was gonna make a state of the game video. I don't have a whole lot of footage yet. I know some of you sent it in, and I thank you for that. I don't know if I have enough. I have to put it together first. I know that I was gonna do it, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But my goodness, this Shoutcast all by itself is all we need. All these frame drops. Thankfully, they haven't been super impactful yet. But my goodness, they sure do want to be. And in comes the Clodsire. Clodsire's gonna have to eat this Ice Beam. Kecleon is looking to sweep here. Ice Beam is going to be enough to knock out Clodsire, and that's going to be a good game, well played. All right, we're rocking and rolling into the next game with Goodra against an Azumarill. Another matchup, once again, where that Power Whip would have been a little bit better. I think that with Power Whip, you have a much better chance of, if you just land the Power Whip, you could just go Aqua Tail thereafter, whereas Thunder Punch, you do need to land a second Thunder Punch before you can really threaten with Aqua Tail. So Ice Beam is going to get an immediate shield. Opponent swapping in a Dunsparce here, and we're going to catch that Dunsparce's drill run once again, looking to do the same thing as last game, just with an Azumarill on the lead here. And they're going for the Rock Slide. So now if you're playing your Dunsparce, right, and if you're not aware, right, so Rock Slide does less damage in neutral situations than Drill Run. So right here, you want to be going for Drill Run when both moves are neutral, because Drill Run does do more damage. Now, holy mother of frame drops. There we go again, chat. Trainers. Why? I'm so in stream mode right now, dude. I'm calling people chat, and it's not even a stream right now. We do win Charge Attack priority against this Dunsparce. I don't know the IVs, but most people are probably running like a pretty high-ranked Dunsparce. Able to get shield parity off of that move, and we are very, very happy to just let this go. And the opponent is going to have a little bit of HP. Oh my goodness, they got 1 HP on the Dunsparce. I thought that was knocked out. All right, well, opponent's going to be able to land another Drill Run here, but they're not swapping out, and Kecleon is getting a really big farm before the Clodsire. It's Clodsire. Okay, Clodsire has come to the field of battle, and it's going to have to take an Ice Beam. That does a lot of damage, dude. Do we get to the next Ice Beam? No. Do we let this go? Okay, well, we know the whole team now. Unfortunately, now it's just going to be up to Goodra to finish up this game here, and I don't know if it's going to be able to do it when we take into consideration that there is a nearly full HP Azumarill in the back. So, Aqua Tail gonna nearly take out the Clodsire. If Clodsire gets farmed down here and looking to catch the move, but unfortunately unable to do so. But Goodra is gonna get this farm down here as the 1-turn Dragon Breath registers before the opponent could throw their charge move if they had one. Dunsparce. Oh man, that's rough, because you definitely could have saved that Dunsparce for now. Now with the energy lead, hopefully Goodra can make something happen here, as Thunder Punch is going to do super effective damage, but it's not a lot of super effective damage, and I think you still need at least 2 more Thunder Punches. The opponent's Ice Beams would knock out from this range, so if you can get to 2 Thunder Punches before they can get to 2 Ice Beams, we are looking good here. Simon looking to try and squeeze as much as possible out of this Goodra. This would have been the perfect situation to save that. Oh, wait a minute! No, by 1 turn! Oh, that's so tragic. Oh, man. That was so well played. Saving the 1 HP Dunsparce for that situation at the end game with Azumarill probably would have actually been a little bit better off there and trying to just get that farm done. But finishing off with a nice 4-1 here. Very awesome showcase of Kecleon here in the Great League. Again, Sucker Punch did get buffed. It's doing a lot. It's basically the same stats as Counter used to be. So very, very strong, fast move. And Kecleon is one of the things that has a very nice, like, broad range of moves that you can choose from. So if you don't want to run Thunder or Ice Beam, you have Foul Play. And I actually don't even remember the other moves, but I know that it has quite a few. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed these games. It was, well, some very fun games here with Kecleon here in the Great League. And that'll do it for me for today's video, guys. Thank you very much. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.